Wonderful local doctor specializing in gender-affirming care. Keep that energy going for Dr. Christine Coons.
I'm gonna test this mic. We're gonna see how this works. And everyone hear me okay? Is it too loud, too soft? We're good? Perfect. So my name is Dr. Christine Coons. I'm an internal medicine physician and I work at Providence Holy Family and Sacred Heart. I'm actually on call today, so if my pager goes off, I apologize in advance. I'm taking care of about 14 patients at Holy Family Hospital. And these are my patients. And I see them for who they are and as they come. I'm an internal medicine physician, but I also have a lot of other responsibilities. Just this last year, I was asked to be the project lead for intersex care for Providence Health Systems, which means that I'm responsible for a lot more things than I ever anticipated in my entire life. I'm involved in research. I take care of creating documents and literature for intersex care and gender-affirming care. So I get to talk to a lot of different universities, organizations, legislative bodies, all sorts of stuff. And it's remarkable to me to see all of you individually and collectively. I would not be here and available without my family. And I want to say thank you for my wonderful spouse and my 4 amazing children, my 3 sons and 1 daughter. Eli, I see you, and I love you. So I'm going to share a couple stories of my experiences in medicine. I'm a hospitalist by trade, which means I take care of patients inside the hospital. Early in my career, when I was working in the ICU, an individual came into the hospital very sick. They had overdosed, and they were in the ICU on a ventilator. They were actually recovering, and they were going to do just fine. Their significant other was worried, sick, and I wanted to see them and recognize them. They were a gay couple, and I remember walking down the hallway at Holy Family Hospital, just outside the entrance, and seeing this significant other walking. And we talked for a few moments, and then they asked me, "Can I give you a hug?" That was one of the best hugs I can ever remember. And it made me feel that I needed to do more and better to help these communities and our communities. When I was in junior high, I was required for a science class to do a presentation. I believe this was in 8th grade, but I chose light refraction and use a prism in the presentation. To be honest, the presentation kind of sucked. But I remember on the overhead projector, anybody remember those? Okay, good, I'm not alone. I just remember looking around the room and just seeing all this light dance and this rainbow and spectrum just being there. Somehow I still ended up with a grade of 106%, just to show you how much of a nerd I am and how much extra credit I did. However, little did I know that I would in the future take the spectrum concept and trace and help apply it through humanity, individuals, science, and medicine. Like many, I kept my gender dysphoria a secret while growing up and through the various stages of my life. Many had suspicions, and I was caught a few times. It took me many years to get myself to a place where I could be open about who I am and be able to work to understand others. The part that opened my heart the most was a deep love of the stories of the various people in our communities, especially the transgender community. I admit there were times I got jealous of others. Some started earlier, some had more supportive parents, some have better access to care, some passed better. What I didn't see yet at the time was the spectrum. I was too quick to compare myself to others. I set on a journey to understand and see better and be better. It started with returning to my medical books. I dove right back into biochemistry, anatomy, human development, physiology. I have Harrison's Internal Medicine textbook, which is a 2-volume text that I used in my residency. It's about that thick. The information was good, but it was severely lacking. There was so much that was missing, so many questions that needed answers. I felt like Gandalf telling Frodo he needed to do more research and talk to Sauron. I love Gandalf. You could tell the literature had a very specific narrative, and I needed a different approach, a better approach. One that connected diversity of sex, gender, expression, and orientation, and yet allowed them to be unique and diverse. Somehow this needed to give us back our humanity as individuals and be cohesive as a community and society. That is where I started. Allowing the people to see themselves and understand themselves is one of the greatest gifts we can give as physicians and care providers. Being able to answer the question of why do I feel this way, and how do I navigate my life with respect to this? In my presentations, there's one line that states, variations of sex development, gender diversity, variations of sexual orientation and expression are scientifically allowed and expected. We have always been here. We are here now. We will forever exist. One of my responsibilities as a researcher in the fields of intersex gender diverse care is helping build tools. However, not every tool is right for every person. The instruments and tools I give to providers and caregivers are different than tools for individuals. Helping to give language and words to you to be able to express the tools that you need is only part of the work I do. Helping to create and shift social, scientific, and medical understanding is another. Just like we all exist in a spectrum, the tools we need exist on a spectrum as well. The things I need are different to yours. They are still important and necessary, but it is our task to figure out those next steps together. I take care of transgender individuals in the hospital. One memory stands out to me as pivotal in changing my life. This is a very meaningful story for me. There was one patient. Their admission to the hospital was seemingly easy to treat. They came into the hospital for a simple infection. They got admitted to the hospital with sepsis. They got started on the right antibiotics. And I came onto the shift the following morning. As I went over their medical chart to review everything that was going on, I noticed at some point that they were on hormone therapy. As I read through this chart, I prepared myself to introduce myself to this patient and ask the questions of your preferred name and your preferred pronouns. As I talked to them and told them about their medical care and how things were going to change and be different, they turned to me and said, "Can I talk to a case manager?" I told them, yes, I'd be happy to engage a case manager. What is the question that I can take to them so that I can help better direct your care? They turned to me and I just about fell over. They said, "I'm being sex trafficked." I froze. I couldn't believe the words that I heard. Of course I got them care. Of course we got them help. Of course we got them out of that situation. I was grateful to have been listening, to have heard them, to have seen them. Right after this experience, all my staff that was working with me immediately changed the patient's preferred pronouns and their name on the chart. They took care of this patient. We took care of this patient. That day they got help because people paid attention, cared, listened, and built trust. But there's more that we need to do, so much more, and we are not done yet. I know, just like a spectrum, every one of us is at different phases or stages of our journey. You may be an ally or part of the community, or just learning. Maybe you are just sitting on the fence. Please step down from the fence and share in this incredible transgender community. Today we remember individuals. We remember their names. We say their names. There are many pioneers and heroes. There are so many who gave and give so much. There are too many who feel like they aren't enough. Listen to their stories. They are worth hearing. I believe in you. We believe in you. And yes, you are worth fighting for. Thank you.